Wout van Aert determined to get in the breakaway today, but would it pay off for him and Jumbo-Visma? This was the stage to Longwy, the longest stage of the Tour de France this year, 220 kilometres long before the first proper uphill test to Planche de Belfi tomorrow. We had a breakaway win yesterday on the cobbles, Roglic crashing and losing over 2 minutes to Pogacar. Pogacar taking 13 seconds on all the other GC contenders, and today 3 to 4 punchy climbs with an uphill finish to Longwy. We wouldn't expect huge GC gaps. We had Eddie Merckx at the start having a chat to Wout van Aert, who's in the yellow jersey, who's looking good for the green jersey competition. And there's 50 points available for green at the end of this stage, but there was action from the start. Crosswinds, cross tailwind at the start, and Wout van Aert was determined to get in a breakaway marked by Pippo Ganna, Quinn Simmons, Bettiol, active Marco Halafabora, and here you actually see Tadej Pogacar has slipped into this group without Primoz Roglic, and I don't think Jonas this time on this occasion. In future instances, there was actually a split with Wout van Aert, Pogacar, UAE's rouleurs, and no Roglic. A normal, quote-unquote, normal break went with Wout van Aert determined to chase back with Trek marking because Schoens, Kosnefra, and Taco Van der Horn were in this breakaway, and Wout was determined to get in there. He tried maybe over a dozen times to get in the break. Even when it was at 50 seconds, he kept trying. And with Roglic having crashed yesterday, it's made for a very, very fast and hard start to the stage with, once again, Tadej Pogacar now with his teammates, some of them off the back, in fact, marking Wout van Aert himself, perhaps sensing an opportunity that, hey, if I can slip into this move whilst Roglic is down and out, I might get carried to some time here. And he just basically neutralized Wout van Aert himself before Wout went again. So, yeah, a really hard start to the stage. Jonas was, as you can see, having to close gaps himself. Thomas was doing it as well, slipping into this move. I'm not sure if Yates and Martinez were always in these moves. Thomas was pretty active. And yeah, this is basically just literally a montage of Wout van Aert trying to get in the breakaway for over an hour with Porsche, Skirns, Tarko, and Kosnefra probably not believing how bad their luck was. Finally, a rouleur sort of stage 19 style breakaway did go up the road with Asgreen, Langen, so UAE represented De Wolf, Laporte, Sturven, Geschke looking pretty strong. The problem was Christophe Laporte didn't really work with the breakaway. Magnus caught in there. No Bora Hansgrohe or Bahrain or Lotto. So they were chasing that break, which again got 20 seconds, but without all the riders contributing, that got brought back. Wout seemed intent on still getting to that break, and Laporte seemed to be waiting almost for him to get in that break as well. Eventually, the elastic snapped when a famous rouleur, Steven Kruiswijk, did a lead out in a crosswind section, sending Wout van Aert clear with Jakob Fuglsang and Quinn Simmons. Fuglsang looked very, very good at Tour de Suisse. And finally, it relented. And what would Pogacar do? Would UAE chase? Do they want the stage? Would they just sort of slow pace? And it seemed that they would just hold the gap stable at about, they let it go to about 4 minutes. With these three riders ahead, they didn't let it get to anything crazy before Alpecin started pacing. No one knows why. Niels Pollitt paced for Alexander Vlasov. That made sense. Education First paced because they had a chance for Palace to go into the yellow jersey today, and UAE were pacing as well. So with this intermediate sprint coming up, Wout could take maximum points uncontested from the group, but with the gap tumbling from 254 to 209 in the space of about 10 kilometers, Israel and Jakob Fuglsang decided to pull the pin on this three-man break. They weren't going to go 70 Ks with just three men with a gap of 150 with those strong rouleurs chasing, and Wout van Aert decided to continue with Simmons struggling to hold his wheel. I'm sure there was the conversation whether to stop or not, whether it was worth it to keep pacing, but he did. But unfortunately for him, the gap was at 109. The GC teams in this run into Longwy started to get interested. There's now bonus seconds on offer if they catch Wout van Aert. Koos goes off the road with Roglic nearly crashing, Van Rensburg going down, Bahrain pushing really hard. They've got Dylan Turns here. So the question was, with Wout caught and losing yellow, losing out on some Finnish green jersey points, who was going to win the stage? You've got Michael Matthews here, Mike Woods. Is it hard enough for a guy like him? Probably not. It's like 4% finish. Pidcock's here. There's a crash in the run-in with Alexander Vlasov. Again, I said it on the Lanterne Rouge Cycling Podcast, which you should check out. Unbelievable composure from Vlasov and Bora today. Got the chain back on, Bike Exchange was smashing it for Matthews, but Bora got their train back, and Vlasov was unlucky even to lose 5 seconds today. That was just because the Thomas split. Second last climb, 800 meters, 10%. GC stalemate. Everyone looking at each other. Roglic was in the group a bit deeper after the Benoit lead out, but it allowed Viermos to slip off the front. This is how Total have won a stage with Bergero. Earlier in the year, Viermos won a stage of the Dauphiné before Pogacar closed him down. Probably the worst thing they'd want to see, and it was very, very obvious that Pogacar wanted a chance to win the stage. He won an uphill sprint, a similar one in Tirreno Adriatico this year, where he dusted Jonas Vingegaard. Similar profile. And we've got Jonas' second wheel, Roglic's fourth wheel behind, I think, Pidcock, before he just yields the wheel to Pogacar, which is not so bad. Like, he's now on Pogacar's wheel going into the sprint, but then he gets shuffled back. Now he's behind Matthews, and Roglic's just really struggling to hold position in the bunch at the moment. He's just getting shuffled back even uphill constantly, and if you're starting the sprint from bad position, which he does here, it's very, very difficult to win. Launching at 400 meters, even though Pogacar's lead-out stalls, provides the perfect lead-out to Tadej Pogacar. David Gaudu makes it impossible for anyone else to contest by chopping Michael Matthews and Tom Pidcock, and Pogacar walks to almost an uncontested victory, being able to post up, didn't even care for the time gap for like 50 meters. Unbelievable win for him. He probably couldn't believe his luck that the stage sort of fell into UAE's lap. They only contributed 1 or 2 riders to chase Wout van Aert because they got help from 3 other teams. Alpecin, no one knows why they paced. And he takes 10 bonus seconds as well, not just the stage winner. Had a Matthews, Gaudu, Pidcock, Quintana looking unreal in 5th. Dylan turns Jonas, Martinez, Roglic, Bardet, Thomas and Vlasov on 5 seconds, but Pogacar goes into the yellow jersey after stage 6 ahead of Nielsen Paulus, who would have hoped for Pogacar not to take any bonus seconds. He might have got into yellow. Unlucky for him, Jonas in 3rd now on 31 seconds. Here's what Pogacar had to say after the stage.
Yeah, I mean, it was not a pure sprint. It was not, because we rode last 2 climbs really hard. It was, above our thresholds, and it was super hard to the final climb, and hectic and everything. And I guess I had good legs to push in the end.
We don't yet know about the yellow jersey. It might be you, it might be Nelson Paulus. Is it important to get the yellow jersey today?
No, I wouldn't mind it, but for sure, I'm super happy to take the win. Anything else is just a bonus, and we think about these next days.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But I hope you enjoyed the video. The first proper 20-minute uphill test tomorrow. Let me know who you think is going to win. Roglic looking okay today. Hopefully he's all right. Fingers crossed. And I'll see you at the recap of that tomorrow. Ciao.